I've just been re-listening to my interview with Diana Parks, Joe Simpson's mum, and Hetty, Joe's best friend, about Joe and about Robert Brown, the British Airways Killer. You may have seen the documentary that went out on ITV. That was a key part of me formulating awareness of getting Joe's story out there, and we were successful in the campaign to prevent Robert Brown's automatic release from prison. What you probably didn't know was that he started a judicial review, which was regarding the Justice Secretary Alex Chalk's decision to keep him in prison. He claimed it was unlawful, and therefore it went to judicial review. Well, we talk about that in the episodes, and there's a lot to learn from that process. It actually backfired on him, and we explain why. And we also talk about what more we want to have change. And Hetty and Di, now CBEs, are just incredible. But one of the things that's always struck me across my career is that every family that I meet says, particularly when their daughter or their loved one has been murdered by a coercive controller and or a stalker, they say, if only we had met you before, because you've imparted so much information, unraveled coercive control and stalking and the psychology of the perpetrators and the high risk factors, and more importantly now, the high risk clusters. I want to get this information out there. First thing we can all do is believe women, but we have to fight back. Knowledge is power. So that's why I've created now masterclasses that are open to all. I have 2 Preventing Murder in Slow Motion classes on June the 5th, and it repeats again in September. You can sign up for that. So you need to do that today. Then Dash risk assessment classes, particularly for professionals. So June the 13th and 14th, I think it is. And then I've got coercive control classes in July, and then they repeat again at the end of the year. So do sign up for those classes. We've had too many cases, and we have to fight back. And I just feel that women and children, well, we've got too many women being murdered all across the world by abusive, controlling and violent men, and children growing up traumatized and without their mothers. We've just had the case of Amber Morgan. She had her baby 5 weeks ago and was murdered. She was trying to divorce her husband, and we know pregnancy and new birth is high risk. Separation, high risk factor. We know that coercive control, stalking are high risk factors. Sexual violence, high risk factor. Misogyny, we have to talk about it. And we have to talk about strangulation, which increases the risk 7-fold. And I'm thinking about Micciolo. I'm going to say more about that case. So please sign on for my classes, because it will save lives.